13th of July. I've come down to Allotment today to dig up the Duke of Yorks because these potatoes, you know, it's quite a dense crop here, even though they are spaced 2.5 foot apart. A little bit more for the main croppers, to be honest, but to get access, it's a nightmare. So the only access is now is to dig a row. This is why they're in sort of first, seconds, and then mains, so I can kind of keep accessing this way and get that road cleared. Peas, be final picking today. I've had a couple of right good pickings off them. I think I've had just shy of £12 of actual peas. That's not the pods. Yeah, just shy of £12 in freezer now. So I'll have this last pick. There'll be a few that have gone over that I've not got at this side, but I don't mind because I save them for seed. So if you get any tough, chunky peas that, you know, that are a bit too tough or gone over a bit, fine, save them, dry them out, use them for seed, it'll be absolutely fine. Unless if they're an F1, but you know, it's worth a go. You never know what you're going to get. You might get a decent pea out of them. So we'll have a look around. Some cauliflower that's gone over a bit, but because I've not been able to get down, to be honest. I wanted to get down, you know, on Sunday, but just haven't had a chance. Been just absolutely hectic this last week really. I had a gig at weekend, so I thought, well, I'll get down after that, but just not a chance. So I've got today. I've got a few things to do tonight. So I thought I'll have a day down here, get them up, get the peas clear, because I've got some more ready to go in, which I'll probably leave next week. Just got to watch out with this heat wave coming, because I don't want to put anything in if it's going to be clouded by hot, dry weather for the next few days after, because it can quite easily dry out. So you're better off keeping them at home and keeping them pampered with a bit of water until there's a few cool days that will allow them to tap some roots into that soil, and just water them in really well, and they should be okay. Because they soon sense there's new ground and should start to whack some fresh roots down. And once they've tapped into that soil, they're okay. Let them find the water. Because if you keep watering them from the top, they get used to having the water shallow, you know, and which is okay if you're there a lot. But the idea is get them to get the roots down. I mean, these potatoes, they don't get watered at all. Don't matter how dry it is, because you couldn't water any, because they do their own thing. I mean, farmers don't water them, so, you know, it's a field. They do. I've never had any die of drought or anything like that. You know, you've just got to watch for drying, splitting, stuff like that, scab. But we'll see how we get on. I had a rabbit tunnel in one of the rows. I hadn't eaten it. It kicked a few spuds out last time I came down, so I just bunged them back in the hole and covered them over. But yeah, there's blueberries to pick today. So we'll have a look round anyway, a quick look before we get started. Right, the red spark onions, doing okay. Could do with that, having a bit of a weed on them really, and some of the sort of, when they get the foliage drops and it goes paper at the side, just peel it off so it's not got that stuff laying across the soil everywhere. It's just to try and stop any sort of fungus type thing going on. Because I do get something that starts to rot them off when it gets to this time. So if you're getting it that starts to rot, rip them out. I've pulled 3 out the other onion bed last time I was down. It just stops any chance of spread. So the Rigoletto, doing like it did last year, it stands really well. No signs of bolting or anything. It's got a bit of growing yet, but there'll be some hearts there that's small. So I might just put some in this side. I don't know what yet. Probably the next batch of spring onions can go in here, to be honest. Because if I go and put some young cabbage seeds in there, you know what slugs will be hiding under that lot, and they'll just come out and nail the seedlings. So peas, like I say, you know, there's still plenty of pods on. I mean, these were sown quite dense in the gutters, so I've been trying to work out roughly how much seed per 5 foot length of gutter that I put in. And I've kind of looking at the seeds I've sown, I think 25 to 30 grams per 5 foot is a nice even spread without being too dense. I mean, you can do it like the 5-a-dice, but you end up with gaps if ones don't germinate. So I think, you know, the sort of 25-30 grams evenly scattered about in a 5 foot piece of gutter, you know, or a 5 foot furrow, however you want to sow them, is a nice sort of even spread. Get some good airflow, because we've got mildew, you know, the late season mildew usually starts attacking it, so you need as much airflow as you can get really. Broccoli, some space to take off that. Might even think about pulling some of these out now and getting rid of them, clearing the bed. Because I've got seedlings that are ready to come down probably in the next week or so. So cauliflower, some of it's, you know, that's a big cauliflower at that. There's a few that are a bit tatty looking, you know. So. But, I'm definitely not doing as much collie next year. As much as other people in the family like it, it's not a favourite of mine. So I'll think of something else. I'll do probably, you know, still plenty enough, but I don't need to be doing 60 a year. No chance. Garlic, it's got rust, but it's still tickling over. Probably golf ball size, I think, at the moment, so they are swelling. Still green foliage, so there's still enough life in the plants to be doing the job and sending the goodness down to root and that. And just wait for them to topple. A few spring onions here. So, because spring onions obviously get rust as well. I have got some leeks I need to bring down, really, but a bit dubious now because they've got rust. I'll just pass it straight onto it, so I might see if I've got anywhere at home for them. If not, I might just bung them in here somewhere and just see how they get on. But it'll be in my potato bed probably, other side of the plot. Sweet corn's doing alright. These are the Santero. Tickling over okay, nothing's toppled yet. There's no signs of anything rotten at the moment, but I'll probably go in there after and pick at some of the foliage. Just got to watch your eye on the tips when you're leaning in, you know, because even though they're soft, they still jab you in the eye. You know, but it's just getting rid of tops that, you know, looking a bit manky like that. Need to pick some blueberries because these fruit bushes are actually hanging with fruit. I've got it wrote down at home how many pound I've taken off them so far. It's probably I've had 2 big pickings off them so far. That's just mainly these first 2 bushes. So plenty to go at. It's a time-consuming job picking the berries, but we'll do that later on. The baby calling Snow Baby, it's doing okay. So this heat, it's really tapped in and got going now. Brussels sprouts that are leftover ones, they've tapped in, they're growing. They're not dead, they're not doing great, but they're growing. They'll be quite robust out here because it's quite tough, that soil, and we're getting a bit of wind rock and there's a little lonely courgette at the back. This corner's all still tidy, a bit of grass and weeds growing, so I'll probably just give it a do some weed killing on a really calm day before I plant the other beds up. I'll sort of do all my pathways again as well. But I just want to time it so I'm not spraying it eliminates the risk of spraying any of my crops. But I'm dead careful. I kind of put the spray nozzle near enough straight to the ground and just half trigger it. And it is a fairly weak mix I use. But it's just I can't be doing with mowing and strimming every week. I just don't have the time to maintain it like a garden like that. And I haven't got the money or the physical sort of manpower to be bringing chippings over and paving flags. It's too time consuming to do all that. You know, it's a case of get here and do the job in hand, which is grow some veg. Obviously, when you're growing something, you've got to bring into the fact of you've got to prepare it as well when you get it all home. So we shall crack on. I'll get these tops off these potatoes. Probably won't film digging them all up. I've got some scales with me, I think, so I'll probably weigh. I think there's about 20 to 25 plants in there in that row, and I'll just try and keep the jazzies over one side and dig them up. But the jazzies can come up probably in about 2 weeks, and they'll be ready because I like them. They're all right, and they store pretty good as well, to be honest. But yeah, this row spuds up. These peas picked and then cleared. I think they're the first 2 jobs. Right, so she'll get on. Right, I've not got my microphone on. I've just cut the tops off, just the first 4 or 5 plants, instead of lopping them all off, just in case they aren't ready. But say a couple of spuds, you know, there'll be enough. There's a big cluster around the top of this one here, so there isn't much room for much more growth, I don't think. But it's nice to see a bit of soil again, so it does exist under there. So want the truth. How to start it, and how many am I going to puncture? Do one. Go steady on this first one. Hopefully the soil's not too dry underneath because they just tend to fall through prongs at fork. Yeah, they're quite big then. You know, it's like these small ones that are all around the stem. I'm going to take anything that's really tiny, no splitting out like that. That's got some foliage growing out. Bit of a tub. Sort of thing when I get home. Good size. All small ones can go to making a potato salad. Because these are like really good for roasting. Not like the highest yielders. Got a piece of wood in there as well. That'll be the raw bed edging. This soil's not dry. It's quite chunky. And over the years it's had some stuff dug into it. The problem is always just getting started, is the trick. There isn't a great lot of room. A few worms about, so at least it's not too dry for them. The compost heap's going to get filled up. Yeah, there's a lot of quite a lot bigger than 120 from the place. Take a while digging these up. I'll probably have to check through it a couple of times. Careful with the camera to just a lad with a fork. Tree spuds. I'll actually see what I've just got out of that little hole there, which are probably 2 plants. I've got the scale set up. I've deducted the tub and everything. I've deducted the tub and everything off the on the scales already. So see what we've got just off that little bit there. Bang on £4. So I've already taken this off. £4 of spuds off that. What, 2 foot? I've got another 19 foot to go. So I can see a jazzy poking out of the ground there. So it's a jazzy because the shape's a bit like Charlotte's. Put that in there anyway. Right, we'll crack on and we'll have a look at when I've done it. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all the spuds dug up. So they're just over there in one of the big crates at the moment, giving them a bit of sunshine, dry some of the soil off. I lost some to whatever's down there, been chewing. So I've kind of weighed what I've lost. I've lost pretty much bang on £3. But I have £38.5. So you know, you can work the whole harvest out. It's over £40, you know. So say there was like, you know, 20 to 25 spuds. The average is probably, you know, the sort of somewhere between over £1.5, somewhere between £1.5 to £2 per plant, which ain't bad for a first early. course all the ones that they sort of decided to chew at were quite decent ones. There's not many, but we'll have a look at them after anyway, because as I say, I've kept the chewed ones and that. I think I hit one, which ain't bad going. So I'm just sort of dealing with these peas now, which is a bit of a sort of boring job really, but it's just easy to sort of like, instead of going along podding them, just sort of like, I've taken the strings off, just basically grab a couple of plants, run your hands along it. If you feel a pod knocking your hand about, pick it, and then you can sort through what's too tough and that. And if you want to dry them as seed, that's fine. But if they're like really pale looking and they're hard, they're good for seed. Oh, we can aim your axe, it's a bit breezy. I'm not aiming to get every single pod off, but we'll get most of them off. And then what I'll do, I'll lay these on the ground over there in the sun while I do the rest of the jobs. Ideally, because I could do with some browns really, I'd leave them to dry right out, but I'll chop them up with shears after. Because I was hoping to be able to be on here a bit longer, but I just had a phone call. Somebody wants me, as per usual. You get a day free and then you get the old, have you got a chance and can you do this? Like, yeah, sure, can you go down my plot and dig my spuds up for me then? Fat chance of that. So I told them I'll have to wait till tonight. So I can at least get the bulk of stuff done. I'm not going to rush like an idiot. I've got to go semi-easy because my wrist is playing up again. Don't know what I've done with it, but getting it looked at in a couple of days anyway. But I'm just hoping this breeze dies down. I don't know how well you can hear this microphone. I've got a little wind thing for it. It's just one of them Rode wireless mics. But I find the little wind thing that goes on top of the little fluffy thing barely clips on. You know, so you don't probably end up losing it and burying it. I think I've got it in my pocket somewhere, my jacket pocket. But pick the rest of these and I'll weigh them. I've got an empty bucket, so I can reset the scales to knock off the bucket and that. It's like I did with the other potatoes and that. And I might even weigh everything today, collie heads and all that lot, see what I actually get. It's something I wish, you know, I should do more often really, you know, record everything. I'm all done for today now, so I've harvested the Duke York spuds. There's 10 cauliflower heads there, I think. Some peas, courgettes, some blueberries, some broccoli spears, and spring onions. All these are Clapton, bar for the first one. That's Terza, I think it's called. I might actually start growing them next year instead of the Clapton, because I mean these are a bit on the small side, but obviously some of these are starting to split. There is another 9 left in the bed. We'll have a look around in a minute anyway, now I've finished everything. I've sort of weighed everything. Peas, there's about six pound there, so by the time they're podded, there's probably about, I don't know, £2 of peas. I can't remember what the spuds were now, about £38 there, and there's obviously a few pound in the tub there that are rotten. Blueberries, there's just shy of £7 of blueberries there. It took me ages to pick them. So the broccoli side shoots have done all right. You know, there's just the last bit there. I've cleared all the broccoli out of the way now, and got the bed ready to replant up. So I'll get the camera and we'll have a look around. Right, we're in fruit cage, so I'll just show you these blueberry bushes. There's absolutely stacks of berries on them still. The most I've harvested from are these two bushes here. These are the I can't remember what varieties are. I've got early blue and blue crop in here. There are 3 varieties, but that's 2 of them anyway. But because of the sheer weight of fruit, I'm kind of like puppet strings now. I've got this string here holding these branches up a bit, just to give a bit of support because we're dangling on the ground. Same with that one there and that one. Still a lot of fruit on that one. I'll give them a bit of water. When I come down again next, I'll water them again just to try and help fatten the fruits up, obviously, because we're going to be in a real dry spell and a heat wave soon. So there's always this one there. I've thrown probably about £1.5 of blueberries away because I get blueberry grub or blueberry maggot. So they're not the nicest thing, but if I could spot one, I'd show you. But basically, you pretty much look for some blueberries that are stuck together, a little cluster. Sometimes you'll see a little silk web. Sometimes you'll get like a leaf sort of stuck over the end, covering the end of the blueberry, because you end up with a hole in it, and they live there. And they're quite crafty actually, because if you drop them on the floor, they lay very still, and then you touch them and they go mental. But the telltale signs, you know, you can. So there's one that's all squidge. Can't get it in focus. There's one all squidgy there. There might be one inside there. I don't know. Or it's been in and done its thing. Probably been in and done its thing. So I've been going around picking all the drop blueberries up, because it is supposed to help keep numbers of them down if you can keep the the actual ground clear. Oh, look at the rest of the blocks. I've got to shift all this lot back over to the van soon. Oh, peas are all out. Had a little bit of a tidy up of the onions. But time's getting on. I mean, I've been here nearly 8 hours, I think, something like that. So get out the sunlight. The sun's starting to go down a bit now behind the buildings over there. But that's had a rake over. So that's good to go again. I put the net back over just to prevent things landing and causing problems, weed seeds and that. So there's these cauliflower that are left. They're in there. I could take them, but I think I'm going to risk them for about another 3 or 4 days. These are all Clapton that are left now. They're probably 4 to 5 inch heads at the moment. So if I leave them a few more days and then come and get them, might come down Sunday, because what day are we on today? We're on Wednesday today, so I might come down maybe Saturday or Sunday. I might come down and rip them out. But onions, hopefully they'll just see through and nothing bad will happen. I don't mind losing the odd one, but I think there's about 140 onions in that bed. There's stacks of them. They're all decent size, As I say, I won't grow them for big ones. I want some smaller ones this year. Sort of like your regular sort of, apple size ones. Nothing really done down here. I had a little bit of a fettle at these onions, but it's sort of dense and you end up poking your eye out. But nice clear patch down there. I've hilled some soil to the left at Jazz's to try and just in case we get any blight spores, just to keep them protected. So there's a patch down there. I don't know what's happened with that. Can't get to it at the moment. But hopefully, there's like some dead top there. But overall, they're looking alright. I'll just keep coming up fairly regular to keep a check on them. But that's it for today. So everything that I've picked today, all the offcuts have gone in there. So that'll sink down loads, but it's a good 3 foot high that now in there. And I've got all the root clumps off the cauliflower and broccoli. They're all in there in the bottom. I'll just let them dry out. I'll probably end up putting them in the bottom of a Dalek and just give them more time. Because they'll probably take 2 years to rot them with rock hard. But if they're at the bottom of the heap, it's fine, because it still has a bit of drainage and airflow, I guess. So if need be, I can just dig a trench and bury them, in one of my beds somewhere. On this potato bed, just bury them along a fence line or something like that. So on that note, that's it for this update. So next one will be, I'm not sure when, probably more harvesting or an update from the garden. Don't get any more sowing to do, but you never know. But I've got things to plant out, obviously, up here. There's the next batch of broccoli and cauliflower, so I've got all that to do. And then hopefully we'll get a second run at everything. You know, it's not too late to sow things, because you don't know. You know, if you have a mild winter, you might just get a full crop of something else. It's always worth it if you've got the seeds. Put something in the ground, because it's too early in the season just to start covering up now and leaving beds empty. You know, put something, whether it's dwarf French beans, beetroot, climbing beans can still be sown now. You know, we are only in July, and you've got till like October, end of October, for a lot of things, before the frost come anyway. Obviously the days get shorter, but there's still enough time. So take care, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See you now, bye bye.